Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. Today's video is not quite what I had planned, but it'll become obvious why I'm deciding to feature this now. This is Interstellar Kraken, and he's been on the channel before. He's a pretty good carrier player, way better than I am. Or I probably will ever be, because he's doing some pretty amazing things with the carrier, but I really like his style, his very aggressive carrier style. And today he is in the Haku, the Japanese tier 10 carrier. Now this, and he's asked me to tell everybody this is his last game. This is his farewell battle on the North American server. And the reason for that is that he has been consistently accused of cheating. Now, I've been avoiding the whole topic of cheating. I'm aware what's going on, but I've been avoiding it mostly, just, not to shine more light on it. I can assure you that Wargaming is aware of this as well, and that I personally think someone who cheats in a multiplayer online game is very pitiful as a person who feels necessary to do this. And he's sent this game in because I think he just had enough. And I can understand that, because this is really not something you'd like to be accused of, because he is actually just really very, very good. Now, let's just put that aside and enjoy the battle. He is in the Haku, in a mostly tier 10 battle. They have 2 tier 9 ships on their team, and the enemy team has a Midway, Republic, Monty, Kurfürst, and triple destroyers, 2 Shimas and a Gearing, against the 2 destroyers on Kraken's team. So let's go. They're playing Cage. Oh dear, it's a center cap map. What could possibly go wrong? So usually in a center cap map you would expect the carriers to, well, stay back. They can go and position behind one of these islands, but at the onset of the battle, Kraken starts sending out his fighters and bombers and torpedo planes in that particular order, and just goes and takes a good look what's going on. Now the battleships are kind of heading sideways. Again, this is one of those. The positioning is relatively similar to the Golden Channel. You'd expect the battleships to anchor. There's one of the Shimas, there's the Republic, there's the other Shima. So he directs the dive bombers and the torpedo bombers against the Shima. Both dive bomber squadrons miss, so he's trying to do some torpedo drops to at least keep that guy away. And there comes the first one, and there's a cross drop from the other side. So if he's dodging, he's going to try and dodge the first one. He's running into 3 torps from that, and he's running into 3 more torps from the other drop. That's not quite enough to sink him, but he's now on relatively low health. But the enemy team has captured, and the battleships don't look like they want to get into the cap circle. So there's the Worcester and the Baltimore. Worcester takes up a defensive position, which should be able to take care of the Gearing, provided that Kraken can keep him spotted. So he's sending some dive bombers out. The Gearing smokes up. Worcester's radar should be in range of that, but we will find out. Now the Midway has woken up, which means he can actually use his fighters and do some things. There's the Gearing, and he seems to be stuck against the island. Not quite sure what he's trying to achieve there, but Kraken sends out the dive bombers against the Kurfürst and the torpedo bombers against the Shima. Now the Shima torpedoes the Gearing, and and that actually works. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Meanwhile, the Kurfürst is damage controlled, so Kraken decides to send the torpedo bombers against the Kurfürst to go for a permaflood. And he keeps shooting down some aircraft. There comes the torpedo drop, and that's a permaflood on the Kurfürst. Nice. In the meantime, the enemy team is starting to capture, because the Baltimore has decided he no longer wants to be in the cap circle, and the battleships have no intention, and the destroyer is running away. So Kraken goes, screw that, battleship mode it is, and starts moving forward in a carrier. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Here we go again. He's now in a battleship and getting into battleship positions again, hitting the Große Kurfürst just to reduce. He's got the 1 Shima over there, and he is getting He's got another permafire on the Kurfürst, so that should work out nicely. Torpedo bombers should take care of the rest. That's a double permafire from the Worcester probably. So he decides to redirect the torpedo bombers against the Shima in there. Sends one wide for a cross drop if necessary. Shima is on relatively low health after a couple of hits, so he should be a one-shot with those torpedo bombers if he can make that hit. There you go. Oh, he takes damage, triple fire, damage controls that, but he takes out the Shima, so he can set the other torpedo bombers over to take care of the gearing, and the gearing runs full on into that torpedo drop, and there's the double strike. Okay, now he just has to deal with the torpedo soup. Okay, that's unfortunately a permaflat, because that happened just a second after his damage control was off cooldown, or was on cooldown. So now, but he has captured, and now observe what he's doing. He's backing off a little bit, but he has stopped the carrier. He's stopped inside the capture circle. He is detected right now, and he takes a couple more torpedoes, but he's almost outside of his detection radius, and there he goes. He's unspotted. So you can see the dotted line. He just keeps away far enough from the Shima such that he doesn't get spotted, and meanwhile drops the Monty. And the Shima goes into a more defensive hiding position there behind the island. Probably dropped his torpedoes. Plus the Worcester, who's doing an excellent job, is keeping the Shima pushed away because he was air spotted. Now he's sending his fighters over to deal with to help that battleship, which is trying to find interesting new seas on the next map, going through that mountain over there. And in the meantime, drops the Montana. Now Montana has a great AA, but at the end of the day, if you're coming under concentrated air attack and you're alone, it might not be enough. And he is just outside detection range, so he is a one-shot kill for the Montana. The Shima drops a bunch of torpedoes his direction, but the Montana can't see him, and the Montana is dead. The Worcester burned him down. So he's trying to use the torpedo bombers to deal with the Shima. He's got the big caliber by now. He's at 96,000 damage, and he tries to drop the Shima, but Shima is stopping, is reversing, so this is probably gonna miss. And he sends the other one, two torpedo hits. That wasn't quite enough to deal with the Shima. Sends the other one towards the Republik over there, which is fighting his own battles at the edge of the map. Tries to do a second drop against the Shima, but I think the Shima is going to go forward again. But the Worcester should be able to kill him. Yeah, he just missed with the torpedoes, but the Worcester takes him out because he has pushed forward. That was an excellent play from the Worcester in general, holding that defensive position. And now it's just down to farming. He's at 105. He moves forward and is starting to work on the. Is he going to work on the Midway? No, the Midway is dead. The Midway is going to get torpedoed, so there's nothing to do there anymore. But the Richelieu over there, the Z-46 takes out the Midway. The Richelieu sits, he wedged himself into that little edge there and wishes he was not in this game anymore, obviously. So Kraken's healed a little bit back, and he's at 105,000 damage. He sends a couple torpedo planes in, and the dive bombers. Now everything just goes onto the Republik there, and he's perma-flooding. There's a second torpedo drop. A couple of fighters just to deal with a couple more planes and get a couple more plane kills. 2 more dive bombers. That's a double perma-fire on the Republik, and that thing is very, very dead. So Kraken at this point, he got the Witherer. I'm not sure what he's super grumpy about right now, but the Republik actually manages to take out the friendly Montana. So Kraken is firing his guns and trying to take him out with his secondaries in the last couple of seconds. But I think he's going to be denied that because the battle is going to time out. He still takes a big chunk from the French battleship, but he ends the battle with a very, very well-deserved MVP. And let's see what his final tally was, because I have to admit, at the end, I was hard to keep score. 147,000 damage. That is just short of the of the current damage record, which stands at 157 as far as I remember for this ship. And very, very, very well deserved. He did more damage. He did almost as much damage as the next 3 ships in the game together. 2 kills, 16 aircraft, 1 cap in the Haku on a center cap map. And extremely well played. It's going to be, well, it's a shame to see you go from NA. It would have been great to actually see you on the friendly or enemy team at some point. But he did an absolute monstrous amount of damage in this game. He played absolutely excellent in my opinion. And if ever I get good with carriers, I will try to do you proud and play as aggressively and as recklessly as you do at times, because that was great to watch. So thank you for sending that one in. I couldn't spot any cheating in this game, and I wish you best luck if you're going to play on another server. I'm sure they'll be glad to have you. That's it for today. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time.